Today, I want to talk about something that many people admire from the outside but often misunderstand once they step into it. Remote work. Working from a laptop, choosing your own schedule, maybe traveling to new cities while still earning income. At first glance, it looks like the ideal lifestyle. And for me, remote work truly changed my life in many positive ways. It offered me freedom, flexibility, and a chance to grow personally. But at the same time, remote work also brought challenges that I didn't expect. There were moments of loneliness, blurred boundaries between work and rest, and even financial pressure. In this episode, I want to share both sides, the good and the hard parts, not a fantasy version, but the real day-to-day experience of what it's like to work remotely. Part 1, the good side, how remote work improved my life. The first major benefit remote work gave me was freedom of time. I didn't need to wake up early or rush through crowded traffic. I no longer had to sit in an office for a fixed number of hours just to look productive. Instead, I began organizing my day based on my natural rhythm. If I felt more focused in the late morning, I worked then. If I wanted to take a break to walk outside or exercise in the afternoon, I didn't need to ask for permission. I started feeling like my life and my work were connected in a more healthy way, instead of existing in separate boxes. The second benefit was geographic freedom. I was no longer tied to one city just because my job was there. I could visit new places, stay for a month somewhere, work from a cafe, or even choose to live in a different country. This opened my world. I met new people, learned new cultures, and experienced life in ways I never would have if I were stuck in one place. Those experiences shaped the way I think and helped me understand myself better. The third benefit was personal growth. Remote work forced me to manage myself. Without a boss nearby or coworkers watching, I had to learn discipline, self-motivation, and responsibility. I learned to recognize when I needed rest and when I needed to push myself. I became more aware of my habits and my energy. This kind of growth is something that would have been much harder to develop in a traditional office where the structure is already decided for you. Part 2, the hard side, the problems that no one talks about. But now, let's talk about the difficult parts, because remote work is not perfect. The first challenge is isolation. When you work alone most of the time, you don't have small social interactions like greeting coworkers, chatting during breaks, or simply being physically near others. Even if you are introverted, over time, the silence can feel heavy. You need to actively create your own social life, and that isn't always easy. The second challenge is blurred boundaries. When your home and workspace are the same place, it becomes hard to switch off. Even when you are not working, your mind feels like it is still active. You might find yourself checking messages late at night or thinking about tasks constantly. Without clear separation, you can end up working too much, sometimes without realizing it. Rest stops feeling like rest, and your brain never fully relaxes. The third challenge is uncertainty. Many remote roles are freelance, contract-based, or performance-based. Income is not always stable. Projects may come and go. There are times when work is busy and times when work is slow. This means you have to think more carefully about savings, planning, and long-term goals. Remote work can offer freedom, but that freedom often comes with responsibility and pressure. Part 3. Internal changes, who I became. Remote work didn't just change where I worked, it changed the way I viewed my life. When I started moving from place to place, I realized how big the world is and how many different ways people choose to live. In one city, people wake up early, drink iced coffee, and work beside busy traffic. In another city, people sit in quiet bookstores, speak softly, and walk slowly. By living and working in different environments, I started to see which pace of life actually felt right for me. Traveling while working also made me more aware of what I need to feel at home. At first, I thought I needed almost nothing, just my laptop and a good Wi-Fi connection. But over time, I realized I needed small routines to feel grounded. My morning drink, a certain type of workspace, a few familiar habits that follow me anywhere. This taught me that home is not just a physical place. It can be a rhythm or a feeling you create within yourself. But travel also brought emotional challenges. When you are always moving, friendships can feel temporary. You meet people, share experiences, and then say goodbye. You learn to appreciate moments more deeply because you know they might not last. And eventually, you start asking yourself deeper questions. What do I want to build long term? What kind of community do I want to belong to? Remote work gave me freedom, but it also made me realize that freedom and belonging need to be balanced. Too much freedom becomes floating. Too little freedom becomes confinement. I learned to stand somewhere in the middle. Part 4. What I've learned, advice for anyone considering remote work. If you're thinking about remote work or the digital nomad lifestyle, I want to share a few lessons that took me time to understand. First, create structure even inside freedom. When you don't have office rules, you have to create your own. Choose a work schedule that you respect as much as a boss would expect from you. Have work hours and rest hours. Protect your weekends or your personal time. Freedom without structure quickly becomes chaos or burnout. Second, choose your environment intentionally. The place where you work matters more than you think. A noisy cafe can be inspiring one day and mentally exhausting the next. A quiet room can help you focus, but can also feel isolating if you never leave it. When traveling, don't just search for beautiful places. Search for places where your mind works well. Sometimes the most productive places are not the prettiest. Third, learn how to stay connected. Loneliness is real, especially when you move around. So talk to people, join co-working spaces, attend language meetups, call your friends, stay in touch with family, create relationships even if they are temporary. Human connection is not a luxury, it is fuel. Fourth, be prepared for financial ups and downs. Some months will be full of opportunities, others might be slower. Having savings helps you stay calm. Having multiple income streams gives you stability. Remote work feels better when your mind is not stressed about money. Fifth, travel slowly. Moving every few days is exciting, but it's exhausting and it prevents real experiences from forming. Staying in one place for a few weeks or months lets you learn the neighborhood, become a regular at a cafe, find your routine, and understand the local life. Slow travel is where the real beauty is. Finally, remember that remote work is not the goal. It is a tool, a door. What matters is what you do with the space it gives you. Will you use it to learn new skills, to take care of your health, to build meaningful relationships, or to simply escape? The lifestyle only becomes meaningful when you choose a direction inside it. So in the end, did remote work make my life better? Yes. It gave me freedom, a sense of ownership over my time, and the ability to design my own world. But it also made my life harder in ways that required emotional strength, discipline, and self-awareness. And still, I would choose this path again because now my life feels like something I am building, not something I am just living inside. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy, subscribe to my channel for more.